Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you chose to be with me this evening. America is at a crisis point. Our national future is at stake. Our country, as we have known it, is in jeopardy. Never before in the history of civilized governments has one nation faced so many obstacles as we do today. We're overtaxed, we're overregulated, and we're underrepresented. Freedom and liberty are being challenged by the evils of socialism and the constraints of big government. It is the time that we realize that the constraints of this big government has put us in an out-of-control set of circumstances. It is evil, it is wrong, it's something that we should have expected out of the Democratic Party, but it has infiltrated our party as well. We have always known that the Democratic Party stood for socialistic policies, entitlement programs at the expense of working families, high taxes, and the destruction of the concept of American exceptionalism. But what we did not expect was that the Republican Party in this century would be just as bad. Conservatives have always counted on the Republican Party to be the stopgap in the Congress against the actions of the Democrats. But now we realize, after reviewing the voting record of people like Spencer Backus, Olympia Snowe, Arlen Specter, and the rest of the moderate wing of the Republican Party, that the current Republican Party is just as bad as the liberal Democrats. We're headed down a slippery slope to a centralized socialistic government, one that our founding fathers never intended, one that will destroy the rights of the American people, the rights of our states, and the United States of America. Each step that we take towards making big government the caretaker of our lives, we will move that much closer in making that government our master. But we can do better. We used to be a nation of we the people, a government by the people and for the people. But now, thanks to people like Obama and Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid and Maxine Waters and Spencer Backus, it's a government by the few and for only the few. Our founding fathers warned us about this time, the day in which we live. John Adams said that the jaws of power are always open to devour. Her arms are always stretched out, if possible, to destroy freedom. And we must remember that democracy never lasts long if we do not take care of it. It soon wastes away, it will exhaust itself, it will murder itself. Benjamin Franklin warned us that those who would give up an essential liberty for temporary security deserve neither liberty nor that security. And the Constitution, as Patrick Henry would proclaim, is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people, but it is an instrument for the people to restrain the government, unless it comes to the point that that government will dominate our lives. Now, allow me to share with you some facts to consider this evening. Today, according to the Heritage Foundation and the Cato Institute, we are $12 trillion in obligated debt. There are 307 million people in the United States, so each citizen's debt today is currently $39,000 for every man, woman, boy, and girl. Our national debt increases by $3.7 million each day. In 2004, our tax burden was 1/4 of our national income. But in 2009, our tax burden has grown to 1/3 of our national income. In 2008, the federal government collected $2.52 trillion in taxes. But that same federal government spent $2.98 trillion for a deficit of $455 billion. Our Congress is out of control. 37 cents of every dollar that you earn is owed to the federal government. We have only balanced the budget 3 times in the last 39 years. Our national debt is 1.4 times larger than all of the combined debt of every nation in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot continue down this path of destruction. It is time for new leadership in Washington, D.C. It is time for new leadership in the 6th Congressional District in the state of Alabama. We must remember that our freedoms are just one generation away from extinction. We cannot pass our freedoms and our liberties to our children through the bloodstream. They must be defended, protected, and handed down to the next generation so that they can do the same. If not, we will spend our remaining years telling our grandchildren what it was like to live in the United States of America when men and women used to be free. I'm asking you for your vote. I'm asking you for your support. And together, we the people can take back our government from professional politicians and reduce it to the proper size. We can chart a new course for taxation, education, and fiscal responsibility. We must protect our Constitution and defend our borders. We must set the American people free to work, invent, create the opportunities that will solve the crisis that we're currently in. Everything that is currently wrong with our government can be solved by everything that is right with the great American people. Our founding fathers require of us to protect the American dream, the dream where we can be better, richer, and fuller for everyone and every opportunity for all of us to achieve. And I hope that you will join me in this cause of freedom and in this cause of liberty. We can do better, we must do better, and we will do better.